Well, good morning. This is Philip Roy from nziphone.com, and this is an iPad, a 16 gig Wi-Fi model, courtesy of Jens at toshnewzealand.com. He's kindly sent it to me for the weekend. It's a bright Saturday morning here in New Zealand, and the sun's streaming in through the window here. And this is all completely sealed, hasn't been opened at all, so we're going to unbox it. So here goes. Okay, so you've got a lovely picture of the iPad on the front cover, sides, lovely Apple logo. On the back you've got some of the order information. It's 16 gig, it's the Wi-Fi model of course, because the 3G model hasn't been released. So let's open this thing up. The other thing you'll notice is sitting with me is an adapter for New Zealand, because of course this has come from America, so the power plug that I think is included, I'm not sure until I find out in a moment, is for the US. Interestingly, considering this hasn't been opened up, it looks a bit dirty on here, but that's just the plastic cover. Here's the tab to open it up. Let's hold it up the right way. Already it's a little bit bigger than I expected actually, but wow, that is amazingly thin. Very clever with this curved back. Let's get it out of this little wee plastic wrapper. Black version of the Apple logo on the back. I'm never going to be able to put this back together the way Jen probably wants me to, but not to worry. About as heavy as I expected, I would say. Less, or I can't remember what the exact weight is, but probably about a pound of butter, maybe a bit lighter actually. That's just beautiful to hold. And, you know, I'm not surprised by that. That's Apple, that's what they have to a T. This is the volume switch up and down here. You've got the screen rotation lock there, which from my memory is new. I think it wasn't going to be there, or was going to serve a different purpose. You've got the sleep wake button, which I'm dying to use. You've got the microphone here at the top and the headphone jack. And then down the bottom you've got the dock connector and the speakers. I just really feel like holding this for a bit longer, because that really is beautiful. The more I use it, it is a little bit heavy, but I mean for what it is, that would be to be expected. I'm also holding it out a bit further than you would normally, simply so that the camera gets it rather than me. But I'm going to put that down for a moment and take a look at what else is in here. I've set aside the iPad for a moment. It's time to look at the box. The thing I really love about Apple is not only using their products, but their packaging are just is just a work of art. You know, simplicity, but really beautifully put together. So this is the inside. There is a little wee tab here to pull this insert out. It says designed by Apple in California here. When you pop this out, there is the dock connector and the power adapter. Of course, that'll be a US power adapter. Having a look in here. When you open this up, there is a double-sided piece of information about using the iPad, just telling you where the buttons are and how to get set up, which of course is using iTunes, which we'll do in a moment. There is some important product information related to the iPad, and there's the obligatory Apple stickers, 2 of them, which have been missing in some packaging recently, so it's great to have them back, particularly because I need one for my car, but I won't steal these ones off Jen's. So that's that. Taking a look further into the box, we need the dock connector. So I'm just going to slip this out of its packaging. A fairly standard dock connector, which we'll use in a moment. And there is also a US power adapter, which I'm not going to take any further because that's no good on our system, but Jens has kindly provided an adapter here. I'm actually just going to plug into my USB port, so that's why I'm not taking out the adapter there. The box is deeper than needed. There is nothing from my understanding further down, but let's take a check. I don't believe so. In fact, it's very hard to get it out, so I'm not even going to bother. And Apple aren't the sort of people that would hide things like that. I would assume that's probably for a bit of safety for in transit. The interesting thing about this is there is actually a 150-page iPad user guide, but obviously you need to get that electronically, and I'll be linking to that. But that's the box. Time now to get the iPad connected. So it's time now to turn the iPad on for the first time, and I've got the cable connected to a USB hub. It's a powered USB hub. It's not directly into the Mac, but it shouldn't be an issue at all, hopefully. There's been some reports of issues with charging. I'm assuming that I probably won't need it at first, but I will of course for syncing. I've actually got my iPhone already attached to my Mac. You possibly can't see the Mac screen because of the sun coming in, but I have a range of applications here. I have iPhone, iPod Touch and iPad apps that have been separated within iTunes. I've got a large number of those apps just for my iPhone, and then further down I've taken some time in the past few days to go off and download some free iPad specific only apps, and I've also purchased one which I'll show you at some point, probably in another video clip. It's a virtual accordion that you can play, and I just bought it for the hell of it. What I'm really interested in at this point is, one, can I register using my New Zealand iTunes account, and two, how is it going to work with these applications and my iPhone and having a second device. So the first thing I need to do is to turn on the iPad. And here we go. The Apple logos come up. And at some point it should prompt me to connect to a computer and to connect to iTunes. So here we go. Battery looks fully charged. If I plug this in. I really don't enjoy putting these in the first time. There we go. So it's picked up the time already off the computer. That's interesting. It's accessing iTunes on my computer, and it says let's get started. You need to register your iPad. So I'm just going to try register it. I'm going to try continue. I have read and agreed to the software license agreement, and I say continue. I need to put in my Apple ID details. Okay, I've put in my Apple ID details. It's asking me if I want to use MobileMe. I don't have a MobileMe account, so I say not now. And then I've got two options, and that's quite interesting here. I can set it up as a new iPad, or it says that I can restore it from a backup of the iPhone, but I don't want to do that, don't want to even risk it, so I'm going to say set it up as a new iPad. I'm not going to do any automatic syncing at first. I'm going to call it Philip Roy's iPad for the purposes of this demonstration. And done. So it's doing a sync. The sync's completed because there wasn't anything to complete. So what I will probably do at this point is take some screenshots as opposed to trying to show you the screen of iTunes on this video. And that will just show you how the differences work. I've got about 14 gig to fill up, but I'm going to grab a whole lot of applications and things like that to put in. This is Philip Roy signing off from the video. I'd like to thank Jens from toshnewzealand.com for the opportunity to spend the weekend with this iPad, and this will be the first of at least a couple of videos and some articles about the iPad. Time to have a play.